The Addams Family. Ba-da-da-da. That's best way we've come in, probably. I hate that how it like lags a little.
Yeah.
Snapping. We sound like the most uncoordinated people in the world.
Listen, anyone who is listening to the audio, we are all not in person. Those who are on the video know.
It is funnier. It is funnier who's off rhythm though, right? So
I mean, that's true. I set the pace, and it's just you're supposed to. What you got to do is you got to plan ahead. So like right before the end, you go ahead and snap. Yeah, it's just it's like that.
Don't know what to tell you. But hey, everybody, another week. We've made it. And unfortunately, somebody cannot stay out of our freaking news. But we'll talk about that later. Welcome to the Daily Kazoo podcast. I am the official Megs. We've got KingVonSchweetz, JPhrygian, and amazingly, Jay is still here because baby on the way, bro.
Yeah, this time next week, no guarantee that I'm gonna be here. But if baby is asleep and mommy is okay, I will be. So
we'll have to do like ASMR news. So today this happened, and you're sitting there just holding her.
I'm gonna be like, all right, so wait, don't try to nurse on, don't try to nurse on me. Don't do that. I know it looks like moms don't.
Oh man. All right, so best thing I've seen this week is a trailer. It's a fantastic trailer. It's what the song we started with. Netflix is doing a Wednesday Addams show, and I'm super pumped about it. Jay, roll that beautiful Adam footage.
Miss Addams, you certainly had a very interesting educational journey.
It looks really good.
Love this.
5 years.
I'm not even an Addams fan, and like this looks.
No, same. I mean, I saw it a little bit growing up, but.
Hey, freak! This is a closed practice.
The only person who gets to torture my brother is me.
Facts, though, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's facts.
This scene gave me Piranha 3D like vibes.
Facts. You were at a school.
I did the world a favor. People like Dalton shouldn't be allowed to procreate.
Hey, yo.
Getting expelled was just a bonus.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched this yet, so that was a complete shocker.
It's a magical place. Where I met your mother. The son of love. Finally, you will be among peers who understand you. Maybe you'll even make some friends.
It's like Hogwarts.
Taking a stab at being social?
Kinda.
Evil.
I do like stabbing. Little did I know I'd be stepping into a nightmare. Full of mystery, mayhem, and murder. I think I'm going to love it here.
How great,
awesome.
right? How great is that?
I want to say this is how, because we always talk about how Hollywood does this, right? Like we're always talking about how like what really? Like y'all are gonna do that? Y'all are gonna bring this back? This is how you bring an old property and you do a cool spin on it. Like that's how you bring. I mean, same thing. I know that you've watched Bel Air, and I haven't watched it yet. I do want to, but it's like, even though everyone was against it, they were like, "Oh, Fresh Prince reboot." But apparently, it was a different enough spin on it that it gave a new flavor. It's kind of like how the Lion King remake, which of course it was more of a for real remake, but it showed certain things like what was happening in Pride Rock, like while Simba was gone that we never saw. Like that's what you do, bro.
Yeah.
Also,
I feel like this trailer feels a lot. And Jordan, you kind of said it best when you said it's taking something old and putting a new spin on it. It feels a lot like Netflix's Sabrina show, which was based off like the 80s shows, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but with the Netflix show, it was much more dark. It had like the same vibes that overall the Addams Family has, a little bit less funny though. But this one looks like it kind of feels like it could be in that same universe, and I wouldn't be surprised, kind of thing. So I'm curious to see like who within Netflix is also working on this, who also worked on Sabrina.
Yeah, this looks great. And Jenna Ortega, like the new Scream Queen, she was in X, she's in Scream. They're just finishing up Scream 6, which is going to be a great take because that's like the first time Ghostface is going to be in like New York City. So that's going to be an interesting kind of look. I think she's in the new, not X, the one before it, the prequel they're doing now. It's just, you can get tickets now for what the hell's the name of it? I can't remember. Yes, that's it. But anyways, yeah, Jenna Ortega is like kind of coming in as the Scream Queen now. Love her. Think she's great. Cast is great also for the Addams Family Netflix show.
I just want to say too, the couple, the mom and dad, that's always been like gold. They always had each other's back. They was ready to ride all the time for each other. You love to see it.
But it's always been about them, the movies, the shows, any animated thing. Like it's them, and then the kids are always the side like humor. But now they're gonna be the main story, and it's like a first time thing. So yeah, I agree. Great take though on the Bel Air one. Bel Air is like very, very underrated. It is like that 90210 drama, just minus the dumbness. Like they really kind of like dramatically like, what is it like to grow up in Philly, come to Cali? People don't understand you now from you making a life decision of trying to do better for yourself and stuff. It was interesting. Good take on that. I love that show. God, I love that show. So that was the best thing I saw. We got comics coming up now from our resident comic guru himself, KingVonSchweetz. What, you didn't like the Schwitzels?
I don't care. So all of our news surprisingly comes from Dan Slott. Dan Slott, resident She-Hulk, Spider-Man, mainly known for Spider-Man writer. But yeah, Dan took to the streets of Twitter this past week and said, quote, "I have written more She-Hulk comics than any human being since the dawn of time. I've seen the first 4 episodes of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and I'm here to tell you they are sensational." For me, Dan Slott, I love the guy. I follow him on all socials. He's a very outspoken guy. He'll tell you when he thinks something's complete shit, even if it's a Marvel property that he's worked on. So this, to me, was a great seal of approval. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna love this show. Right. So big excited for the rest of She-Hulk. We'll get into more of the show later, but excited to hear his approval. Next, Edge of the Spider-Verse 2 came out this past week on the 17th, August 17th. Haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but from what it looks like it's still taking the same format as the first issue, where they're skipping around to different spider.
Who's the character? There you go. This is the new character?
This is for next issue.
Okay. Who's the character right now? It's still the same story?
That's the thing. With each episode or with each issue, within each issue, there's 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 different stories.
Okay.
But they all end with kind of the Nick Fury moment of, I'm going to need your help. I need you to come with me.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
The only one that didn't end that way was in issue, that I know of so far, because I haven't read the second issue. Issue 1 had Spider-Man Noir, popular character character, also played by Nick Cage in Into the Spider-Verse, had him basically turn evil ? Not really sure. I tried looking through the pages real quick to see if anything happened with that. Doesn't look like anything is continuing on with him in this issue. But next month issue on September 14th, the cover at least, and the covers are a little, I will say, misleading right now, because some of them will have characters that don't appear at all in the issue.
Okay.
But
What?
it's because they're like, I think they're just
Alluding.
trying to make each issue like highlight certain characters because there are so many.
Gotcha.
And they're not all going to be in the issue every time. But from this cover here, you can see what looks like maybe a kid spider. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Peter and MJ's kid. On the
She does have red hair.
Do what?
So she does have red hair, I think. Or it's
Yeah,
black.
I can't really tell from the picture. It looks like a more black, but maybe it's Penny Parker. I'm not sure. She's apparently supposed to be in this. In the bottom, I don't remember his name, but this is the Spider-Man from India, which I believe this is his debut, maybe in the third issue. If
Well,
not,
we are getting the animated version of him in Across the Spider-Verse.
okay. So yeah, he's becoming more and more popular. And then the character on the left is the one that I mainly wanted to talk about. Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, is now, for the first time ever, becoming a spider person. In this universe, she is known still as a thief, but with spider abilities, and she's called Night Spider. Super creative name there.
They couldn't say Black Spider, you know?
But that's pretty cool to just see like another. Every time they do a Spider-Man like big, Spider-Verse mashup, it's a lot of Peter Parkers in different forms. Even if it's just like, Peter Porker, like it's still Peter Parker. He's just a pig.
Well, that's like Madam Web now with the movie. They're doing tons of female different spiders in it.
Yeah.
Instead
So this
of
one,
various Peter Parker.
I'm glad there's a little bit of differentiation here, and I think that that's what they're going for with this series. Is they're introducing new people that are a little bit more diverse than Spider-Man, Peter Parker, anyway. Because you got Spider-Rex and you got Web Weaver coming up in issue 5. I'm super excited about. But yeah, new characters being introduced pretty much every week.
That's dope.
You said that's issue 3?
That's issue 3, but that doesn't come out until September 14th.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't get issue 1 or 2, but I mean,
Oh, so right when we get back, basically.
You said Felicia Hardy's in it, so I mean, I guess I might have a reason to just
Yeah, that's cool.
This is issue 2. Again, haven't read it yet, but if you look at it, like this is obviously like Spider or Ghost Spider, so like it's very, you can tell the whole theme of it is very Gwen. But then you continue on. You have, I haven't met her yet, but this is hers. I think she's Spider UK. I could be wrong. And then towards the end, I was like, I'm excited to read this bit. You have like a very comic book panel Spider.
Oh, like the old like Sunday comic type deal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Mini Marvels. So I'm like, I don't know if this is just a little bit or if they're going to be in the Edge of the Spider-Verse too, but I think it would be really cute. I love it when they change up art styles. Anyway, that's it for me.
I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, all of that looks so exciting, and I'm proud. I need to get more comics.
Well, I mean, you have plenty of time to read them now.
I do. For sure. Well, probably when I should be sleeping, but whatever.
Sleep, sir. Sleep as much as you can right now, because after a certain day, it ain't happening for a good year.
Oh man, it's never gonna be the
nope.
same.
Now we've got gaming, which is our resident gamer, J to the Fridge.
However, we did get some news that wasn't too good, but our guy, the official Megs, actually is the one who witnessed.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that. My bad. Yeah,
streamers are going through some. I've seen this happen before. It happened to Terrible Gaming 123. It's a really funny guy. Seen him on Twitter. He streams, but then he makes little clips and videos like giving terrible streaming advice, where he like very satirically is like, if you just want to make good content and get people to watch your stream, just copy someone else. And it's just like, and like very much saying like, do exactly what they did and all this stuff. But he got swatted not too long ago. And apparently, you said it was streamer Nadia and then others.
Nadia and him and a couple other. There was like, I think in total 4 that I've heard of. But basically what's happening is fans are how can I put this? Instead of somebody just sitting there and just berating them with horrible comments and stuff, they're calling SWAT teams and police and saying all this crazy stuff. And the police are actually showing up, and SWAT are showing up to these people's houses and breaking down doors, or, hey, you know, we're here for some call. Actually, Nadia's was kind of like the best. The cop was a streamer. He streams when he's not on. And he understood. He was like, can I get some emotes in the chat? Like, you know, we're just going to go off air. It doesn't mean you have to like cancel like the stream. We're going to go away for a little bit. We need to talk to Nadia. It's cool. You know, sit here, sub and gift and do all that stuff. We'll be back in a little bit, but we want to talk. And like, it was shitty that it happened, but it was cool because
it was nice.
He understood what was going on right now. And he was just sitting in the back, like honest to God, like he was right here just sitting. Full vest, full everything, just kind of chilling. Hey, yeah, chat. What? I can't get any emotes. Like, come on, let's get some hype up. Blah blah blah. And it's like they're all confused why there are cops in her house right now. But apparently, this is a thing for streamers now. People are getting swatted. Like, it's ridiculous.
Be very careful. Something that I noticed. I mean, both of you both have like little corners. I'm in a room where you only see the room because streamers. It's a shame that you even have to say this and you have to do this, but everyone decides to just be dumb. People have got to be careful about like making YouTube videos in their house and like showing like a window. There have been people who figured out. I saw one streamer. The convention I went to, Jazzy Guns, said that her hairstylist or like someone who I think she went to her house to get her hair done because like they're also friends and pretty close. She went to her hairstylist's house, but people thought she was getting her hair done at home. So they like called a kid. It was like a literal kid. Like it was like a, 12 or 13-year-old who actually does like watching Jazzy Guns, but had figured out from the window, like, oh, I know that store that's on the block and all that stuff. Went to that house looking for Jazzy Guns, and thankfully it was just like, hey, thankfully this was just a kid who like really does like your content and like wanted to just like meet you and give you something. But yeah, they figured out where I live from a window in your video or stream or whatever. Like it's just weird. So yeah, don't show windows. Do your best not to show, Jacob, when you move, do your best not to show your floor plan as much as, we have people who love to watch our content. There are also people who, either they're not looking to be good Samaritans in your community, or they're just, a little bit Stanish or fanatic.
Well, that's even like, I don't know if either of you know of her. Her name's Bonnie on TikTok. She's got kids and stuff like that. Anyways, they just moved to a big new house and she gets a lot of hate and stuff too, but she doesn't care. But she only shows she'll show the new kitchen and living room. Like she's not doing a tour of the house, she said, because that's for her. And even like the podcaster, both of you know that I listen to a lot. She doesn't show any of the house because it's their house. Like you're never going to be there. What does it matter what my house looks like? That's her thoughts. So
yeah, and it's because there was a day and age where on YouTube, everyone, it was just like, I got
like MTV Cribs really started that, right?
I got this new place thanks to y'all. I want to show you the floor plan, and it's like you can't do that anymore. It's too many weirdos on the internet. That's why I say internet don't need. You need to. I don't know. Is it wrong to say maybe you should have like a license or something? Like you should be able to pass a test.
You ain't lying.
I might.
You ain't lying.
But as well as that, we are in somehow the 20s of August, and
I can't believe that's a real thing.
September is fast approaching, and you know what September means. And also, I do want to mention
Jacob and I go on a vacation.
Yeah, some people get a vacation while
someone's getting spit up all over their shirts,
getting pooped on and shit. And shit.
Get pooped on.
By the way, anyone who's listening to the audio version, I completely forgot. We have said some visual things like pictures and all that stuff. Be sure to check out the podcast at youtube.com. Check out the Daily Kazoo podcast there if you want to see some of the things we're talking about. An article we're bringing up. a Disney and Marvel Games Showcase live stream announced for September 9th, D23. So even if you're not going to be there, you'll be able to enjoy, like myself. And apparently they will be unveiling the sneak peek at Skydance New Media's untitled Marvel game. So a while back, Skydance New Media was said to be making a Marvel game and a Star Wars game, untitled. We've heard nothing about it. Well, this article from MCU Direct, which their sources I think come from like Business Wire or something like that, it actually states, a lot of people are thinking this could be a Fantastic Four game. The reason being is that the quote says this: in addition to all new announcements, fans can expect new reveals from titles including Disney Dreamlight Valley, Marvel's Midnight Suns, which just got delayed, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, and a sneak peek at the upcoming Marvel Ensemble game from Skydance New Media. So many people are like, does that mean Avengers? Well, we kind of already have an Avengers game out right now. What other teams are there? Midnight Suns, it's not the actual Midnight Suns. It's just the title of the game, and it's going to have all types of Marvel characters. So a lot of people are thinking this could be a Fantastic Four game. They think it might be that specific word ensemble was used for a reason. So I think this is definitely a team up game happening. We all know that there is Marvel Spider-Man 2 as well.
Can we finally get a multiplayer though for it?
You know what? I feel that because it would be fun. I don't know. Did either of you play the old Fantastic Four game like that was based with the movie? Fire. Absolutely fire.
The one game I was thinking about though in my head, Marvel Alliance.
Oh yeah, I think Jacob, you kind of like. I think you said you were like, when it came to Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
I personally hope that the Skydance New Media game is more like Marvel Ultimate Alliance as far as like the vast of characters. But I will say that Ultimate Alliance declined with each game, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. I will agree with that because I loved Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, I remember playing it just over and over with my brother. You could always change what characters you use, so it was like a different story every time. But then I think my brother got Marvel Ultimate Alliance too, and I was like, okay.
It almost got like Madden, right? Like where it was just kind of the same thing but worse.
And then 3, didn't it just come out for like the Switch? I feel like it didn't even come out for anything. So it was just like, meh. But yeah, people's thoughts are that this could be Fantastic Four because we are getting that property in early 2024. So, it could be perfect little synergy. We'll have to see. We only have 3 weeks until we'll hear that announcement. So
and don't forget the other one that it's kind of making light right now is they worked on an open world Iron Man game almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then it got
it got kind of scrapped.
Were they the ones who did the one that did come out? That was
I think so.
That was with the movie, but then you also had like different characters.
I don't remember if it was them or not, but either way, I mean, if the company that was making it doesn't want to make it anymore, and like Skydance paid the money to take it and they put it in their engine and then just work on it and fix it a little, I think that's fine. Like I think an open world Marvel game, because like much like DC, what was it, DC, where you just
online, DC Universe Online or something.
Yeah, DC Universe Online, fun game. You made your own superhero or villain, like kind of like that. I get it, but an open world Avenger game would be fire. Grand Theft Auto meets Marvel, right? Like kind of you can be villain or hero, and I think I'd be fire.
We have one open.
Is it open world though? I thought it was linear.
It's not. Yeah.
Like
okay. So it's not open world. You can choose where your missions are, and then when you're playing the mission, it's open world. Like you can choose to go forward or go off to the side, whatever. But I don't know. News with that though, and they are adding in Winter Soldier, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, nice. Did they add in She-Hulk? They added in She-Hulk, didn't they?
No, the only characters they have right now are Spider-Man for the PlayStation. Then they have the 6 from the MCU, and then they have the Mighty Thor, Black Panther, and Kamala Khan. And I want to say that that's everyone. Oh, and Kate Bishop. That's
Yeah.
right. So
So-
that's it right now.
Yeah, so then we have the kind of announcement. I just threw it in there because I just remembered it for gaming. It literally got announced yesterday. Knights of the Old Republic, a Star Wars, I mean, crown
Staple.
jewel that they have not touched yet. And the rumor is that that's what Rian Johnson's working on for a trilogy, which if he did, that would be phenomenal because I want some Darth Raven. Like, it is no one's business. But they were supposed to be working on a reboot and a redo of Knights of the Old Republic video game, which is probably by far one of the best Star Wars video games ever made, minus what has currently come out as of late. Well, that got not only shelved, but it was told at the earliest 2024, not even a chance. 2025, end of it, maybe. Like, they are shoving that all the way back. Do we think, though, they're shoving it back to do more with the current video game, Star Wars games that they're doing?
They definitely are like highly invested in that because not only are they coming out with the second game, which it's Jedi Fallen Order Survivor,
Yeah.
is that what it's called? They also, I just found out yesterday, they're making comic books. So for Cal Kestis. So it's like, from what I've seen, it's only a one issue, like one thing, but it takes place in the middle of the two, which those kinds of comics are always, interesting. And sometimes in the second game or the second thing, you get to see a little bit of Easter eggs from the comics, but I don't know. I think that they could be focusing more on that and maybe making more, but I hope that I personally have never played Knights of the Old Republic, but once they announced that they were doing the remaster, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to play it until I can play it on the remaster.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, I'll wait. And then they announced that they were delaying it, and I was like,
playing in 1080 and 8-bit is two different things. It's just like,
I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to wait now, I hope that they like at least fill their time with other stuff instead of just saying like, we're going to work on some other stuff. We'll come back.
because even like Battlefield, as horrible as a game as it was, it almost like they kind of fixed it with some of the updates they did and became such a fan favorite thing. So like, I don't know what they're going to do. Well, I mean, obviously you and I are going to D23, so we'll be tweeting about it as it happens. And as the announcements come, we'll tell everybody. But moving on to entertainment and TV, let's talk about a couple apologies.
Woo!
Ezra Miller put out his apology. Their apology. And as a PR major, this was probably the worst apology I've ever seen. And I think the public kind of got that as well. Granted, as a PR major, this was probably the worst shit to happen. So I didn't expect there to be a great apology with it. But we'll read it and I'll talk a little bit about it. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. So overall, it's some words. A lot of them you'll
Let's timeline this real quick though, right? Like, you get arrested in Hawaii. You get actually arrested previously because you fought somebody in a Walmart. Then fast forward roughly like a little under a year. You're in Hawaii.
Times Square.
Yeah, like you're in Hawaii. You get arrested because you not only basically start a fight at a bar, you break into somebody's house, allegedly. We'll go with allegedly. Broke into somebody's house, told the husband that you were going to, quote, kill his whore of a wife or something along those lines. And then not even a month later, I think it's like 2 weeks, you get arrested for throwing a chair at a woman's head, busting her face open, needing stitches. Okay, look, everyone goes through a mental thing. I understand that. And if you need help, you need help. And I'm happy that Ezra is going to get help. But then the allegations of doing a cult in Ireland and Iceland, and now people missing and all this other stuff, that is not a mental thing. That's like,
it's not something that you can really just apologize for.
yeah,
you need to go to jail.
Hey, I'm going to apologize for
trial.
this, and I'm going to be on Jimmy Kimmel like in a month. So
Here's the other thing is, as a PR major, their major problem here is that this was just text.
And nobody.
And as a PR major, I know someone wrote this for him, and he just posted it on his channel. So one, WB is basically saying what they want from Ezra Miller, and Ezra Miller, from what it seems, is unwilling, or WB doesn't even want his face to be shown.
Their face
to be shown apologizing. So I'm like, I'm at the point where
and it's weird, right? It's like they're sitting there. Your boss is like, okay, you have to do this publicly. We're telling everybody you have to do this publicly, and then we'll let you back on the media tour for Flash. Ezra shows up, and it's like, hey, I'm here. And they're like, oh, okay, somebody text something instead. Can we just not?
Literally, Jimmy Kimmel, like, for example, the press run for the Flash. What are you going to do? Be like, Ezra, so let's talk about the chair in Hawaii. Like, there's no one's gonna want to talk about the fucking movie with them.
Can we all agree though? This interview is very much going to be like the Joker end scene.
It could be, yes,
right?
It could go
you
crazy.
Have no idea what's going to come out of Ezra's mouth.
Happen. Like, I
agree with Jacob.
By the way,
it's a PR nightmare either way.
I'm glad we have a resident PR major here, because now when we just have bullshit with news, I'm gonna be like, all right. Tell me what it means.
It's just a bad apology, and it was badly
rock in a hard place is what it's called.
Here's the thing: you can have a good apology and a good delivery. That's everybody's goal. And then you can have a bad apology with a good delivery, where everybody's like, okay, whatever, let's just move on. And then you can have a good apology with a bad delivery. And this is almost what this is, because it is written well, but
sucks.
It's still a bad apology with a bad delivery. So
yeah,
I would recommend to everyone watching this, if you're ever in a place where you need to write or apologize, make sure you just don't tweet it out. Like it's
like the iPhone notes apology, you know, like when people used to just type a whole thing in notes and they just post a picture of it.
It's like, think about it. You hit someone, or you threw a chair, you've created a cult, you've basically brainwashed and what's the word? Groomed people. And your first thought, and possibly WB's first thought, is he should just tweet it.
And like the other thing too is like the tweet, and then no one even, I don't know if y'all even know about this. I didn't look too much into it. After the first two arrests, people were going around, like women were going around on TikTok, like, I was always scared to talk about this, but Ezra, you know what you did, and like posting pictures of them with Ezra, like because they dated in the past, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and apparently they were abusive, and they emotionally, possibly physically. So like there are a lot of allegedly. So there are a lot of allegations that have yet to be addressed, and it's kind of too far gone. Not to say it's too far gone for an apology, because again, the apology is not for us. The apology is for
right. Like it's not us to say, you know, whether we accept the apology or not. It didn't affect us or do anything to us. And my heart goes out to these people that it did affect. But like, what'd you do?
No, and it's one of those things of too far gone, in that like there was the choke out in Times Square in 2018, and then there was all like it was staged, they were acting, it was a LARPing thing or whatever. But then when you have the first arrest, no statement from WB, no statement from Ezra Miller. Then you have a thing happen not even 2 weeks later, still no statement. Wasn't there there were 3 arrests in the span of like a month and a half with no statement, and then you have just had thing after thing after thing after thing after thing happen.
The first thing they say is, all right, so if Ezra apologizes, we're still working with Ezra.
Even though they said that they officially cut ties after the cult allegations, after the 18-year-old that apparently was being groomed since like 14 or something, and parents didn't know where she was. Yeah, exactly. So,
and like, look, if there's stuff in the background happening and all that's been cleared up and things, fine. Like, but
ain't nobody said
publicly,
nothing.
you ain't said shit.
Ain't
So
nobody said
I
a
agree.
damn thing.
Moving on to another apology that we might need. So we all know Jerry Bruckheimer. He produced he just got done producing Top Gun, which I know both of you were, when I say this, it just got announced, has passed. let me get the actual tweet for you. It has passed Avengers Infinity War, 6th highest grossing film of all time domestically in the box office.
Damn.
Yeah, they do. Top Gun's doing money. Anyways,
big money.
Jerry did an interview with Comic Books, and they asked, what are you working on? And Jerry answered, couple sequels. Working on a script. Jerry's working on a script right now for National Treasure 3, and is shortly almost done with it. He's very close to finishing it and going to send it to Nicolas Cage very soon. We do not know if Nicolas is going to be involved or not. But look, how do you do National Treasure 3 without Nick Cage, right? Like, I'm just saying.
You cannot.
You cannot. The one that might need the apology, also working on a new script for Pirates of the Caribbean. But not the Margot Robbie one.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not.
With
I think
Bruckheimer working on it, I'm okay with it.
Here's my thing.
Rock in a hard place yet again?
Kind of. The PR wise, look, I get it. The court trials are over. Everything was what it was. Fine. But the last 2 movies were trash. Like, if you come back and like, yeah, sure, you can put one out. And because Johnny Depp's popularity is huge right now and everyone's just waiting for him to be in something. Even Mads said he would love to see Johnny come back for the new Fantastic Beasts that they're supposed to be working on, which, God, anything could be better than that second one. I just don't know if you should do a 6th Pirates movie. Am I right? Thinking right now?
My biggest
7th?
thought, my biggest thought
11th?
is like, it's just always funny, and I mean, I guess, you know, for a certain check, maybe anybody will do anything. But like, I thought it was already in the stage of like, yo, I cut ties because of how they treated me the moment that allegations came up. So I don't know. I mean, some people just, you know, people's scruples are built different. Because I know if it was me and I got dragged and I lost all my bags because nobody believed.
Oh, he got a new bag from Dior.
Well, Dior did drop him a bag, but I'd be like, man, fuck y'all. Like, what you mean? You literally can't. Because again, it just goes to the thing of like, I mean, it kind of just goes, I mean, and it's also always different for everyone given different situations, but you see WB go this far to make it work with Ezra Miller, but then it's like Johnny Depp, like allegations came and they was like, oh.
To be honest, and I know this is gonna be a hot take, early Johnny, I like. Mid to now Johnny, I think it's the same character in everything he does.
That's fair enough. If that's your thought.
I really genuinely think
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Johnny Depp in anything since like the Fantastic Beasts.
I think early Johnny's the best Johnny.
I think early Johnny is great Johnny, but if you're telling me that the Mad Hatter and then Jack Sparrow and then also Grindelwald are all the same character.
Close your eyes, watch them. Literally the same person.
Closure hasn't watched them. It's an oxymoron.
Like,
My God.
like, listen to it. Like, just listen to it.
You're telling me that
It is
Dumbledore is like, Grindelwald, I need you to stop. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to stop. I don't want to
kind
stop.
of, yeah.
No,
I think they're all the same character.
they're not. It's the
I
same
wouldn't say that.
actor.
I wouldn't say that Johnny Depp is Dwayne Johnson. You know,
But Dwayne, like the thing with Dwayne though, like Dwayne knows what he is, and he leans into it very much.
or Ryan Reynolds. You could say the same thing about Ryan Reynolds. Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds truly plays himself in everything.
I will agree with
That
you.
I agree with.
I will say that Ryan Reynolds used to be a great actor with a lot of diversity
Range.
in the roles and range, but now it's just the
Yeah.
same thing every time.
He's
He
just
knows what he's fantastic at.
Yeah.
Because Adam Project, I was like, this just feels like I'm watching a Deadpool variant.
I mean, personally, I think as far as the Pirates movie goes, like I didn't like 4 at all. I thought it was bad. It wasn't very good.
Them after like 3.
It was
They don't matter after 3.
It was done well. The story was what lacked. The acting was great. The cinematography and like all the stunts and everything was great. The storyline is what was trash, and it made the entire movie suffer. The fifth one though was a lot better than the 4th one, in my opinion. It, especially with the whole story of bringing in new characters as far as Will and Elizabeth's son, as well as Barbossa's daughter. Those are like that entire film redeemed a lot from what the 4th took away, in my opinion.
I don't hate it is the answer. I just wasn't necessary.
And the other thing is, at the end of 5, the post-credit scene was Will and Elizabeth laying in bed and Davy Jones walking into their bedroom. So personally, Davy Jones never had a single movie that was bad. Like, didn't. So
And
if
Davy
they're
Jones
able to
was
bring
the
that
next.
back, I think they could pull something off that's pretty spectacular. That's just me.
When they kind of
Kinda
need to, and we didn't put this in the docket, but I mean, like, they need the movie theaters need epic after epic after epic. I mean,
Yeah,
Regal yesterday just filed for bankruptcy.
Again?
Yeah, no, they're like legit hurting. So
Yeah.
so that's like the whole thing right now.
I also just think that movies don't need to go past like 4 or 5 movies. Like once you're past that, it's just kind of like you come back for whatever reason, you know.
You don't
like
talk
at least
bad about my Fast and Furious like that.
Hey, Kevin Feige. Yeah, you should have stopped after Avengers.
No, that's not the same.
That's a
because again,
franchise, a movie.
No, because
It
again,
could be the same though with Pirates if they just changed the titles. That's
well,
what-
yeah, but like also the Pirates. I guess you do have different factions of characters that you
like
focus
with
on,
the
so fair enough.
with the last one, Johnny Depp's character wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't the main character. It was more focusing on Will and Elizabeth's son, and even a little bit of
yeah,
Bubba.
if you're doing that, then
But like,
And
take the
that's-
characters
that's what I'm
separately.
It's not. I think, in my opinion, it is a franchise because they've made so many movies, and they're selling toys and all this other stuff. And we have the Disney Plus show coming out about his early childhood, right?
Well, yeah, and then Margot's
Yeah.
also doing the female version, the new rebooted.
Oh, is that one still happening?
That's still happening from what I've heard. I haven't read anything where it's not, and I haven't seen anything saying it's going forward. I see the announcement. They've talked about it, but Margot, I mean, right now, like obviously she's doing Barbie, and then she just got picked up by Warner Brothers to do the Ryan Gosling and her are going to do a prequel for Ocean's 11. So that got announced as well. So when is the question? So I would like a female Jack Sparrow, you know what I do love as a female though? Little She-Hulk, baby. Yeah, She-Hulk came. Yes, She-Hulk.
I'm wearing
She-Hulk's
green
here.
right now. Also,
So
you said
happy about
came.
She-Hulk.
Ha, ha, ha.
I am so happy about She-Hulk right now.
Sure.
that first episode was awesome.
I genuinely liked it. We've all talked a little bit about it. This guy, if you are listening to the podcast,
Are you getting ready for the
please,
plot? I don't know what you're doing right now.
go to the YouTube channel and witness what
The
KingVonSchweetz
simping that just
did.
happened.
Bro,
First of
don't even
all.
lie. Jordan and me both said the same thing on Twitter. Somebody said, "Oh no, don't retweet this, otherwise she'll show up in your bedroom." And it was a picture of She-Hulk. And both Jordan and I went, I mean, and we both retweeted it.
I made a really funny video, like when
It's
the
fun.
trailers came out, where she picked up the dude and walked away with him.
Mhm.
I was like, listen, man, she gave me some of that green goddess. It's like, what are you talking about? She
You're
gave me a
living
heaping-
my life.
She gave me a heaping helping of that Jolly Green Giant. He was like, bro, I need you to tell me what you mean. I was like, she hulked out and she carried me to the bedroom and she read me a bedtime story.
That ass. She swaddled me, and I said, "Ho ho ho."
No, She-Hulk's really funny. It's so cool because I like that they address things and they do it very well. I know this is something that a couple people disagreed on. I personally like how they just got right into it. It was really funny. Like within 2 minutes, my wife was literally like, "Wait, she's already She-Hulk?" And I was like, "Hold on, just look. She's talking to the camera, like House of Cards." And once I said that, she was like, "Oh, okay." And then when flashback, they went through it. Obviously, they did it a little different of how the blood transfusion went, which was interesting. But I guess they technically changed the attack too, right? Like,
Yeah,
'cause
they
in
kinda
the
changed
comics,
a little bit.
yeah, because in the comics, she was attacked for being a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Bruce was sent to jail because they thought that
they thought
Bruce
he did it.
was the one that attacked her. Yeah.
Yeah, he had to Hulk out to escape, but he was the one who gave her the blood transfusion, all that.
But I love how they
This
told
time-
us the story about the mechanical piece that made him Bruce and was keeping Hulk under,
See,
because that was still on him at the end of Endgame. Or not Endgame.
No, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. That's right, Shang-Chi.
yeah, personally, I thought that this episode was like a 9 out of 10. I think my only complaints with it was
Seeing stuff off camera.
do what?
So much stuff happening off camera. I think I'd always
Well, yeah, I think
like
that
the arm thing.
my main complaint was the whole arm thing was literally the first line that Bruce said, and it was just like, let's just get this shit out of the way so we don't have to pay for CGI whenever he is Bruce. And then the other thing was her whole, in my opinion, her whole accident, I think, happened a little quickly. But I will say that I agree with y'all as far as I'm glad that they just got right into it, because
Band-Aid.
previous shows have just been like,
Third episode.
basically, like, finally, like, geez, like Miss Marvel didn't even use her powers until like the end, like last 5 minutes, and it was still like, whoa. But then this whole episode had She-Hulk learning her powers, and it felt like an origin story. And now, honestly, you can pick up in episode 2, not even giving us any more origin, just like
Yeah.
She-Hulk for months, like that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, totally agree. Like that was what got me, was that I think that part of the thing people have had a problem with as far as the Disney Plus shows is like, usually there's like a lot of exposition in the first episode, and they kind of maybe start to get their powers by the end of it. They're kind of figuring stuff out second episode, and then stuff doesn't really happen until the third episode. So it's cool that this one is a 9-episode show. We're already into the thick of it. And I even said this, I said that I like how they kind of, you don't have to be like a big lore and know because of the Marvel comics and stuff to sit and watch it. They still make it digestible in a way that, like, they're like, okay, we're getting a new character. We're gonna give you a new character. Those of you who know who She-Hulk is, here she is. You already know the stuff. But for those of you who don't, we're just gonna get this out the way real quick. New character, boom, let's move on. Simply because it just, there's a lot of building in Marvel, and there's a lot of like, I feel like I have to watch this and watch that before, and how much do I have to start all the way at Iron Man before I watch everything right after Endgame? And She-Hulk, with the way that they did it, it was quick, but it kind of felt like a comic book to me, as far as like, here's issue 1, boom, this happened, she's She-Hulk, powers, let's go.
No, I agree. Talking about digesting, some people are having a problem digesting it a little bit, mainly because they've never had to deal with the shit.
You know, what's hilarious is how I think you mentioned this, and I might be throwing a curveball, but
no, it's not a curveball. But like, for example, right? I picked up immediately when Jennifer's giving her opening statement or her closing statement in the opening of the show and rehearsing it. You hear the guy go smile or a little more smile, and it's just like, ooh, that.
I was like, that's a no.
Instantly in, and then it pulls away, and he's like, you know, it probably come better coming from me, and it's just like, no, Chad, it would not. But a good friend of ours,
Nikki. I love her friend Nikki in the show. Reminds me very much of Darcy for Jane Foster. Sorry, continue. Good friend of the
very good friend of ours. Yeah, is Jay Stubes.
She's never been on, but she's a friend of the pod because she knows this guy. I think he's above me.
I'm up here. Yeah. Jay, good. Love Jay Stubes to death. Will die on a mountain for her. But she went viral on Twitter because of the nonsense that people are putting up. And of course, only one type of people are putting it up, and it's men.
Well, I'm gonna be honest too. So she had mentioned She-Hulk might genuinely be the first time some young men hear a woman speak candidly about experiences like this. Might not seem like it, but that's hugely important as far as like controlling your anger, things to deal with every day. And like there are many things that aren't necessarily presented well when they do things like that, but this was done very well in She-Hulk. And I've seen the other side of it too, because yes, majority is like men like, oh, but Bruce has been through this, Bruce has been through that.
Yeah.
The other side of the coin, and this goes with something I talked about earlier this week, where fighting toxicity with toxicity isn't fun either. I get someone on my timeline that's like, am I the only one who's tired of like men defending She-Hulk? Like, and this was a woman. I'd like it just speaks to be like pandering, and it's just like, okay, so dudes can't also. It's like just basically, I guess we need to just shut up.
Well, it's very much like the comment that I made on I forget what video it was I did, where everybody was like, "Oh, you're doing this just to get girls to like you," and I'm like, "No, it's a open comment because I think you're dumb." Like,
yeah, exactly. And so it's one of those things that like, I mean, we're gonna talk about it because again, I also do understand. I understand, especially being a member of the Black community. I understand when there are some people who go a little overboard when it's like, okay, like you got to tell us you an ally in like every single video. Like, all right, that's a little bit too much. But when it's also to the point that like you can't talk good about it, it's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm seeing a bunch of men praise She-Hulk, and like it just feels like attention. And I think it's that, and that's why we do our best. We just gonna try to amplify. We're gonna say what we like, and we're gonna say what we don't like. But that's why I don't make a ton of videos defending anything, going against anything, because it just seems like you get damned if you do, damned if you don't. Also, another friend of the pod, just want to say Mason Windu also was like, not y'all getting mad at this take, because it was a very good take, because when she's talking about young men, there are some people watching the show who are 15, 16 who need to learn these things. Like something not in the docket, but we just had Andrew Tate, who I've never consumed a bit of his content, but he was just banned on Facebook and Instagram, probably because he's just super misogynistic.
Oh,
and like
the comments he's made.
And there was literally a teacher, or someone posted about a teacher who literally was like, I have male students who, when I try to tell them to do something or answer a question or do reading, they literally quote Andrew Tate. They're like, Andrew Tate tells me I don't have to listen to a woman. So like,
kid you not, like that's legit. All of his stuff is like men power, done deal. you're together, she's your property. And I'm like,
It's like I don't know what society we're going to, but it needs to stop. It's kind of why I'm like I'm over talking about necessarily like toxic content or like people who make whole pages about talking about toxic content. Like, I mean, there are whole people's pages who have blown up talking about Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just my thought that like
and none of us are sitting here like, you can't have an opinion about something. Because let me make that clear. You can have an opinion about things. That's not our argument. Our argument very much is like when you repeatedly give the same argument over different things that are kind of the same, that's when we might have like a conversation of maybe you just don't get it. So
yeah,
like,
it's like how many times can he say like women are worthless?
For
like
example,
how many times can he say that?
I know, and I think maybe in
viral.
Jacob's comments, my comments, I know I've seen it in yours. When we'll talk about like some new project and it's a female lead, the MCU or Marvel and Disney just part of this woke culture now, and it's just like
Jacob's favorite word.
Yeah, I know, and it's just like, wow, like I just don't. Do you not understand? Like things change. Also, I think it's stupid. Like everyone's just, oh, when are we getting the original Avengers back together, sir, ma'am, whoever you? They've not been together since Ultron, like the original cast. Like,
Right.
how many movies from then to now, and you're crying about that?
I want to let Jacob go. Well,
Yeah.
last thing I'm gonna say, like, I saw someone. I don't get on Facebook that often, but someone I went to high school with. She literally shared the guy sitting at the chair with a table with the little white sign, and it's like changed my mind. It's like MCU died with Iron Man, changed my mind, and I was like, just say y'all don't like new stuff, because like, what are you talking about? It really didn't. Like again, and also, even outside of me, only just now getting into like steadily reading comics. If you know anything about the comics, it's been clear where they're going for a little bit now, and it's a very exciting arc. So whatever.
So
More
Jacob,
thoughts on She-Hulk, Jacob?
I don't really have anything else to say other than I'm as far as your friend saying it died with Iron Man. I think people just think that it peaked with Iron Man dying, and I'll agree with that all the way. I think Endgame was literally the highlight of the MCU thus far, but I don't know. It's another Andrew Garfield kind of thing. You guys write down the people's names that are saying this shit.
Is they gonna be right back on them?
When you get to Secret Wars, you tell them you're not going to the movie theater with them.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to come into this theater. This is my theater. I sat here believing and knowing that this shit was going to be great from the beginning.
No, I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. If you don't understand, they're just telling a new saga. Like you're looking at this still as one linear whole story. The saga ended with
basically.
Yeah, like the saga ended technically with Far From Home, but it ended with, Endgame. And you need to understand that encyclopedia of fun is on the shelf. Done. We are on a new path that has new things happening. If you just want to sit on that old one, you keep going to, AMC and watching your World War II movies and stuff like that. You do whatever you want. No one's going to judge you on what you want to do. That's fine. But don't sit there pissing on our fun parade. Like that's my thing. Like if it's done, it's done. But speaking of things that are kind of done but not done, did you guys watch Sandman on Netflix?
I haven't watched it yet, but I did see the news.
Phenomenal. But out of nowhere, they dropped 2 episodes yesterday.
Just 2 random episodes.
They just dropped 2 episodes, and apparently there's a rumor 12th episode.
Wow.
You ever give a dog a treat? Like you're like, cool. And then you give them a treat, and then they just stay there staring at you like, wait, something else happening? Yeah, like that's literally what it is now, because Netflix is always like, here's all of what we have. We're giving it to you. Binge it, and we'll see you in a year.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, here's 2 more episodes, and there's a rumor 12th one, and it's like, wait, what are you
and
doing now?
One of the bonus ones was animated. Am I correct?
I didn't see them yet.
I heard the article I saw was like one is animated and then the other one is I forget.
Both of the cells looked live action. I don't know if it goes animated. I didn't look. I didn't watch them yet.
I know some I don't know. I don't know if that's a COVID thing or if they just did it because, like, maybe someone gets
Could
thrown
be.
into a universe dimension or whatever, and it's animated. Who knows?
I mean, Sandman was pretty good so far. I think it's a good story. I think it's done well. The acting in it is phenomenal. I'd be happy for a second season. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with the rest of this, right? Because it just kind of came out of nowhere, and everyone's and a great book series though.
Mhm.
You know, an amazing book series, and then they turned it into this live action thing that everyone's been waiting for. Speaking of Jay Stoops, like huge Sandman fan, I found out about it from her, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Like it's hard sometimes to take a book series and make something great, kind of like Percy Jackson.
I was gonna say my
Damn.
thing right there because I was literally like, I saw this news, I threw it in real
Percy
quick. But
Jackson,
Percy Jackson, the Disney
cannot
Plus
wait.
show, they've got new video of set shows of the series with the trio filming a New York City scene. I am excited. I think that something like book series is, they had their time of working with movies, but I like this idea of taking them to shows because especially when you have like whole books that you want to try to do as a medium. My cat is sitting here trying to knock down the door and she's failing. But like working it as a season of a show makes so much more sense. Even if I don't foresee the episodes only being 30 minutes, but even if you only got 30-minute episodes, right? Like you could legitimately, if it's enough episodes, like 10, maybe 12, you could get a whole book in like 4 hours. Because that's the thing that's always the excuse, right? Is like, oh, they can't include everything from the book and they got to change it up because they got to make it fit to 2 hours. Or
well, like perfect example is the Jordan Sparks or the what's his name? Something Sparks, where he does like the Notebook or Dear John and things like that, where everyone's like, no, the book's way better because like that middle part they cut out so much stuff.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to get the beginning and end.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of those things that looking back, when it was cable network, it definitely wasn't cheaper. Not cheaper, but it wasn't easier because you obviously had like the commercials and you had all types of other things you had to pay for, the network time and all that shit. Now with these streaming services, it's definitely a lot easier. And like it makes you wonder how much better Harry Potter might have been had it been on TV. But
Ooh. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, excited for Percy Jackson. I'm excited that they have age accurate characters. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but when this show comes out, my page becomes a Percy Jackson page until
I think a lot of people's does, honestly. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get a little early showing of it at D23, which Jacob and I are going to, by the way. I just want to remind you. D23 did announce some of the panels. Jacob and I were going through them to reserve our spots because we're going to D23. And so when Jacob and I go to D23, one of the panels we're really excited about, because Jacob and I are going to D23, is...
Adam, what are you doing on September 9th?
I'll be in California at D23. So what'll be happening is a weird kind of panel, Marvel and Lucasfilms sharing a panel. Let's be honest. One's bigger than the other. Just saying.
What do you think about that take? What do you think about that take? I feel like, aren't they all Disney though? Jacob's like, no.
I don't think one's bigger than the other. I think they're actually very equal.
But think about it, right? Like, I'm going to announce all of Phase 6 for you. What do you got? They're like, we're announcing a Jar Jar Binks show.
I think one has more quantity, but I think the other one maintains quality with the little that it puts out.
I don't disagree with that. I think we'll go for the Lucas. I think we finally get both trailers put out for me. Maybe not both. I think we get the trailer for what's first, Mando. I think they'll actually like publicly release the trailer for Mando because that'll be February if I remember correctly, and then Ahsoka is June if I June, May, something like that. So I think that happens. I think they'll announce some other shows. it'd be funny if they really did do a Jar Jar Binks show. That'd be kind of funny.
I'd watch the hell out of that show.
I
don't
would
care.
not. I hate Jar Jar. I cannot.
All right.
Can't. And then the bigger news is they announced that they're doing this honorary Disney Legends.
And they do this every year, and usually it's usually older people. The people nowadays, like our age, may not, or me and Jordan's age, may not know of. Adam may know of them, but your face. Anyway, they're usually people that, that are.
So are you saying I'm old?
That are usually icons within the movies, entertainment, realm. Like a couple years ago, before his passing, Stan Lee was added in. This year,
Kirby was added too, wasn't he?
I believe so, but it was after his passing.
Yeah.
This year, though, they've announced a couple people like Anthony Anderson, who is the father figure in Blackish. Kristen Bell, who obviously known for Heroes as well as Frozen. She's been working her butt off. She's been in everything. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Chadwick Boseman. This was a big one.
That's the one everyone's going to be.
Yeah, this is a big one just because I believe D23 did occur either right after.
If it's always September, it was right after.
It was shortly
right
after his passing, and the list had already been, hammered out. So some people are saying this is too late. I just think that they didn't have enough time with how sudden that was.
Yeah, like none of us knew. Like, I mean, even some of the cast, I feel like people like cast and crew didn't know.
Can we all agree though that a whole interview is just wild now of them asking about Black Panther 2 and he's like, I'm not here, I'm dead. Just wild that he told all of us without telling us.
Anyway, but on a lighter note, Rob Coltrane, continuing on, is a Disney Imagineer who's worked on Mickey's Filler Magic, Muppet Vision 3D, Radiator Springs Racers, things like that. And then you have a good amount of actors from Grey's Anatomy, such as Patrick Dempsey. I can't remember her name. I'm looking for her now, but
something Pompeo. I can't remember her first name.
Actual Gray. Gray is actually getting put in.
Ellen Pompeo.
That's right.
Then you have other people like Robert Price Foster, who I believe has already passed. If not, he is very old. But he was working. He's mainly known for working in.
If he hasn't passed, on his way.
He's mainly known for working with Disney as far as their parks, especially with Disneyland. Josh Gad. So all three of the main three stars thus far in the list, because Idina Menzel as well, and I'm sorry, all four, Jonathan Groff. So Kristoff, Elsa, Anna, and Olaf have all been inducted into Disney Legends. And while I'm listing this, I just want to say this is a huge honor because normally it's only about 10 people every 2 or 3 years. This year it seems like that they're doing a lot more people. But these are people that have positively, hugely affected Disney as a company, but also as well as the world as a whole. Wrap up a couple. Don Hahn, he works a lot with the props department with Disney. Doris Hardoon, who is also an Imagineer. Chris Montan, who's vice president over music and motion pictures for Disney. Tracy Ellis Ross, who is the mom.
Yes.
Huge list.
Phenomenal actress. And that's it. That's everyone. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's only one.
Fantastic actress. I agree. Blackish, though. Favorite. I love that damn show. So sad to see it go, but it had to.
14 people total in this induction of the Disney Legends. Again, huge honor. This is the 35th anniversary, so I'm sure they'll pull out a couple stops because it is a 5th/10th anniversary. You know, those are always bigger than the last. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like. And it's usually presented by some Disney legends themselves. So
Well, speaking of D23 and Disney stuff and everything, do you guys see that Disney bought Bleach? Like the anime?
I did not know that. Are you going to
Did they buy them?
What?
Are you going to D23, by the way?
I am actually. Are you going?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
so
I'll see you there. Jordan, are you
Disney
going?
bought Bleach, though? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
Disney
thought
actually bought Bleach.
did they buy Bleach or did they buy the licensing to like have it
think
on Disney Plus?
They bought the licensing, but I think they're working on buying it. Because the other thing was like it was between them and Crunchyroll and all that stuff. But like apparently they bought that. Can you imagine like they're gonna buy Bleach and like Dragon Ball and like they just buy Crunchyroll as a whole.
Speaking of which, this kind of got brought up when I saw about Bleach. Was everyone's like, do you remember when? And I know neither one of you probably really watched it, but at one point Naruto Shippuden was on Disney XD.
Mm-hmm.
Like the English dub was on Disney, and it was just like, why?
I saw a tweet yesterday that was like, Disney XD still feels like a fever dream.
Right?
Like, what was it for? What was it?
This
for?
is hysterical.
I'm a little confused. Is as someone who hasn't watched Bleach, but wasn't it on Adult Swim for a while?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this
like
Much
a
like
minute.
most anime?
Does this feel like something that feels like it fits in Disney's wheelhouse?
I think Disney's wheelhouse is expanding. I think that's what.
I don't know. As far as like animes, though, a lot of over sexualization of women and then a lot of blood is what I immediately think of. So, like, does this?
They're gonna shrink down a lot of titties.
I'm just curious. Like, does this feel like, as someone who hasn't watched Bleach, asking people who may have watched Bleach, does this feel like it is a good fit?
That's you, Jordan.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever really watched Bleach. I think I've probably seen it like on Toonami and Adult Swim and all that stuff. But I completely get what you're saying because and I know that this is a huge problem. Also, hold on, I'm gonna throw this at my cat to get her to shut up. Anyway,
Dude, we just witnessed cat abuse on here. Like, what is
a
going
bag of
on?
treats.
Rest in peace, Jordan's cat.
Yeah.
It was a bag of treats, and I just made it hit some
Of the angels.
But like even so, one of my favorite animes is My Hero. But I know that one of the big discussions, obviously, is the fact that those are high schoolers, and like the anime for whatever reason be having them look way different than they do in the manga. They do not be looking like high schoolers. So no, I completely feel you. It would feel weird, and I understand that Disney has. I'll say this. Disney has the mature setting and all that stuff now. And also anime used to be on like Cartoon Network. Like everything was not on Adult Swim always. I will say that. Like they eventually moved stuff to Adult Swim so that they could show a little more like blood or have cursing. But yeah, it's very much outside of Disney's wheelhouse, and it will be interesting because obviously there are a lot of kids with Disney, but a lot of kids watch anime.
Yeah, that I think that's their grab.
Anime as a kid,
like Mickey's Clubhouse, all of a sudden ends up being anime, right? Like,
I mean, and I will say this: at one point, Dragon Ball Z, when Dragon Ball Z was first initially on Toonami, I remember seeing blood and people getting a hole blasted through them and all stuff. And then eventually, I think as they started to, things started to get a little bit more big on censorship. They started making like Dragon Ball Z Kai, which was like not on Adult Swim. They would literally, instead of blood, show like black streaks. And if someone had a hole through them, it was just like a black hole. Like you couldn't see straight through them and see the scenery behind them. But I'm like, he still has a hole in him. Like, what do you mean? So I don't know. It's not really.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, don't forget the movie literally just came out this weekend. The new Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, I actually saw that.
I'm actually hearing good things about it, even though I heard everyone, as always, everybody shit on it before it came out, and people that are Dragon Ball fans are saying it's actually not bad.
A lot of people were excited about Dragon Ball Superhero because it gave a chance for the main the main focus is Gohan, and Gohan is a big it's fine. Gohan is a big staple of the butt of the joke in Dragon
Yeah.
Ball because he was meant to be the next. He was meant to be the next guy. Really, when he saved the world against Cell, Dragon Ball Z was supposed to end after that. It was actually supposed to end. But it was so popular they kept it going. But then when they brought Gohan to be the main character, people loved Goku so much that they manipulated it to him coming back to life, even though
I'm
at
just
the end of
learning right now.
everything- Oh, I know. Neither one of these guys have watched Dragon Ball.
I did. I like Frieza and Vegeta, like first Vegeta,
Yeah.
like I watched then, but I haven't watched anything since.
Yeah, they made. I wish I could find the clip, but I know I won't find it fast. But Gohan, he was literally like that guy. He was supposed to be like. They even hinted like, "Yo, he's like stronger than some grown ass men at the age of like 6," and it just.
That wasn't you. It was me. I mean,
No, but like Gohan literally like in Dragon Ball. Yeah, here I found it. This is like the worst thing, bruh. This is where
you did share this probably with no sound.
no, I
No
didn't.
sound.
Where the fuck is it? This is where Gohan became the butt of every joke.
Yeah.
This man literally powered up to send a beacon so that people could find them fighting Frieza. And it was like,
Hurry, give me your hand.
look at this man. Do you see him? He looks terrible. Oh my god. And this was the moment that people were like, yo, they have officially like killed Gohan. Like they have just made him worthless. So that's why apparently this movie. Oh, also you see what I mean? Like little black holes. Like you used to actually see the air through them. So I don't know. I'm interested to go see the movie. He apparently gets a new transformation. I'm kind of over the whole like there's a new transformation every fucking moment, but whatever. But yes, it's apparently a good redemption for Gohan because he has been the butt of a joke that I hate because he was my favorite.
So you're saying it's a little overdone?
Yeah, but you know.
Apparently something that's not been overdone that everyone's been asking for. One Punch Man's getting a 3rd season they're working on right now. It's in production.
I don't care. I've never watched any of it.
Damn. I like the internet blew up when they heard about this.
No, so
I've
One
never
Punch
watched
Man's-
it either, but I've heard about it. But I always heard there was
The
just the
anime
2
heads are gonna kill
seasons
me
and
for
people
that.
wanted more and like when are we getting it? And then they announced it 2 days ago and it was big. Like Twitter was going nuts over it.
I'm mainly kidding, and I know the anime heads are gonna really jump on me for that one. It's One Punch Man is super popular because the point is that it's satire for the very thing that we were just talking about. Like people literally are like, how did you get so strong? And he's just like, I ran 10 kilometers. I did like 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups every day. And I just trained. He was like, oh, how did you, it's like, how are you going to become stronger to beat this guy? I'm just gonna do it. Like that's because it's literally, it's making fun of the tropes of anime and being like the strongest guy and all that stuff. It's super funny, but
So we don't need it. They should just take it away then.
oh, I mean, it's fine. The people who like it. I might watch it. It's just one of those things that I've never. I was like, I'm also behind on anime because I have to keep up with too much other stuff.
Well, it's like every time you turn around, there's like 200 episodes or like 500 episodes, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like.
Listen, I know Straw Hat Goofy loves One Piece, but I'm never starting One Piece unless I get a job where like literally I can be like, hey, I need to spend 3 hours every day or 6 hours every day watching.
You're about to get that job.
Hopefully, but I still won't do One Piece. I'll
I know Tropical Joe's working. I think he's on episode 100, 200, something like that.
Yeah,
like he's been burning through it. He does like 4 or 5 episodes a day. But speaking of something 200 episodes, These bitches at HBO took 200 episodes of The Streets out. They're messing with Sesame Street. Look,
How dare they?
listen, I'll give it to like Marvel and DC and like fandoms being toxic. Go at a mother who's got a child screaming hysterically that wants to watch a specific Sesame Street episode, and now that shit's gone. Go ahead, have fun with that.
200
Not
episodes.
only that, but they took off. Apparently, they took off Garden Over the Wall, which apparently was a 2020 show that was really popular, and show's creators and artists were on Twitter just extremely upset. One of the most viral tweets that I saw was, "It's gone, all of it, all of my hard work. It's just."
Yeah, the poor artists, for real.
So, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see these things pop up on Paramount Plus, but it's just kind of odd that there's, and again, I don't know anything about the whole business side of it, but it's odd that there's such a long gap in between when something is going to be on Netflix and then when it comes to Disney Plus.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why the Netflix shows didn't immediately go to Disney Plus when it came out. It may have been a contract, it may have been something else, but
You're talking
think
about
it
like
was-
the Daredevil and stuff like that?
yeah, but
I think it was the maturity issue and the licensing. I think it was like it stopped at a certain year.
all that to say, I'm hoping that they move rather quickly with moving these items from HBO to Paramount Plus, since it's all becoming one thing.
I agree. I fully agree with that, because it's just, that's like weird, right? Like, oh, we're just taking 200 episodes of Sesame Street. Like,
It's just really random. Like, again, and one of the tweets I just put up on the
or
video
even like
version
Jacob
of the
said,
podcast.
PR wise, sorry to cut you off. Like PR wise,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to take 200 episodes from HBO, so that way we can get them ready to move them to Paramount Plus and like start moving things over.
Yeah, like say that. Just say that.
Like, you look
It's-
messy right now.
Well, and that's the thing is like HBO, even after the Batgirl stuff, like people were saying, like, also, if you notice, they like silently have been removing movies and stuff. And it's like, why?
40
And
different movies already.
One of the tweets that I just had up was like, it just feels like it's sad to see that, like, it's blatantly obvious that a lot of this stuff seems like tax write-off shit. Like, and it's just like, it's corporate America for you. But
Fully agree.
yeah. But Sesame Street. Now, granted, there was that whole thing about Sesame Place that I know that there are people making think pieces about it right now. There was the whole thing of the very blatantly, seemingly racist cast members allegedly at Sesame Place, which Sesame Place is not associated with Sesame Street. It's like they licensed to use some of Sesame Street's characters or something like that.
Mhm.
But that whole debacle just recently happened. So then for HBO to cancel it, it's just like, are you just trying to be called, show that you're not racist? Like, what?
No, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know what they're doing over there. I wish we could like either have a week where we don't talk about the HBO Warner Brothers Discovery stuff, or Ezra Miller. Like, I don't know which one I hate talking about more every week.
And I just wish that like stuff would stop happening. Like, it's not that we always talk about, like, we don't always want to talk about negative stuff, but it's like when big stuff hits, it's just like, okay, y'all did this, like,
right? Like, oh, She-Hulk, great week. Hey, well, what do we have? We're taking 200 episodes of Sesame Street. Tweet that.
shaking my head.
All right, like, talk about something like a win. Jesus,
Please.
I don't know what to do anymore with them. I'm over it. How
we
about
all?
over? How about over? There you go. HBO. How about over?
That's hilarious.
Great show this week, as always. Love both of you to death. I will be watching the new Idris Elba Beast movie probably tomorrow. And then what else? There was something else that came out. I was gonna Bodies. I still have to watch. I've been hearing different things about it. I'm gonna go see it. We'll talk about it when I see it. But
Jake,
that's
what you
all I
going
got.
on?
That's all I got this week. What do you got?
Jacob, nothing.
Me personally, I have
He's like, work.
nothing this week. I'm going to D23 though.
Oh my God. I'll see you there. I'm going as well.
No.
By the way, are y'all going to D23 or is that something else you're going to California?
I actually can't make. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm going.
Jacob, can we actually get a shirt and we'll get a photo of you and me holding, but
I'm
there's a
going to
space in
D23.
between, and we'll be like, and we'll make it
Photoshop
on the
you.
top. It'll be like we were here, but Jordan wasn't, and it's just.
We'll bring a. You remember Flat Stanley? We'll bring a little. We'll bring a little Flat Jordan.
Hey, just make sure you take a picture where there is actually take a picture like close up together, and I'm gonna do like someone else did that I won't name, but I'm gonna Photoshop myself in the back, and I'll be like, so I went to D23.
So I went to She-Hulk.
Okay.
Anyways,
other than work, no, I don't really have anything coming up. But I do want to say I meant to mention it whenever Dragon Ball was on the docket. Dragon
Wait, what
Ball
show?
is in Fortnite, and if you're
best thing to happen in Fortnite right now.
if you're a fan, go play the game because it's a lot of fun. But if you are a fan and you want a skin, use code Schweetz in the items shop.
By the way, real quick, I know Jordan knows who this is. Do you know who Tim the Tatman is?
Yeah.
So him and somebody else did the Kame to Vader. Milliseconds.
Oh, it instantly kills Vader. Instantly
killed
llamas.
Vader.
Yeah, I used it on a llama twice now, and it just llama's gone. It's
Wait, are we playing later today? Is this happening? Right. Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah, for
that was
sure.
good. All right,
sure.
well, that's what we're doing. We're playing Fortnite. Maybe we'll do it live. Maybe we'll do it live on the channel.
Honestly,
we'll see. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
Next week, I'm sure we'll talk about HBO and Ezra Miller again because they can't stay out of the news. We'll talk about episode 2 of She-Hulk. Now, I have heard for people who have watched the first 4 episodes and went to the premiere, who actually did go to the premiere, the 3rd episode is the one that's going to break the internet. Somebody shows up in the 3rd episode that will break the internet. So, cannot wait for that 3rd week. Now, obviously, though, after that 3rd week, don't know what we're doing for a show because Jacob and I are going to D23, which will be that 4th week. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, I fly in Wednesday actually. So, do you fly in Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, I fly in Wednesday.
So
I'll
these guys get
watch
to be
it
in
Wednesday.
person, and I'll just,
Yeah,
I'll be here
so,
with my
whatever.
crisp looking
Here,
camera.
here, I'll make him feel better. I'll make him feel better. Hey, Jordan, you going to New York Comic Con?
I am.
Oh
I am.
shit,
I am.
that's great. What are you
Anywho.
yawning? What are you yawning about? All right, so that's the show. We'll see every. What's
real
up?
Quick, I just also want to say, happy birthday to Andrew Garfield.
Happy birthday.
We
Love that
mentioned him earlier, and
Happy birthday.
happy birthday to him. As Jacob said, respect on his name. We were there. We appreciated him.
Can I throw
And
this
we
out there?
see people who ride on him now, who you were talking shit before No Way Home.
What if he was a different variant, but in the 616, he's Mr. Fantastic? Just saying.
It's
Just
a good thing that MCU isn't Earth 616.
I know. I'm just saying.
I will die on the argument that it is, but whatever.
I
He
thought that
also-
you said that you thought it was funny that Iman
Originally-
Vellani said it
He
was
also
Earth
thinks
199.
Agents of
Originally,
Shield's
I
fucking
said-
real.
Originally, I said, okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense. They're not 616. This is stupid.
You
But
were
then I
on
thought
Iman
about it.
Vellani's side.
Then I thought about it, and I was like, wait. If we have characters, and this is the last thing we're going to say, because we keep saying this,
Longest goodbye ever.
if we have characters that are Nexus beings that only exist in one universe. If this were to be 616 in a universe where the comic book universe exists, then America Chavez would already know the events that have happened in the comics. So the MCU universe exists outside of the universe of the comics universe. They can never meet up. It will not work.
You should make this a whole series on TikTok, like Professor Schweetz talks.
Professor Schweetz. All right.
There you go.
Anyway,
Now we're
good podcast as always, everyone.
All right, we'll see you next week, and don't forget, as always,
I love you 3000.
we love you 3000.
Find us
We'll
on
see everybody.
TikTok,
Find us on
YouTube,
TikTok, YouTube,
Instagram,
everywhere. Oh,
Twitter.
and we might be doing watch parties soon. So watch out for that. See, like
Rate
watch
us 5
parties,
stars on
watch
Apple,
out.
Spotify.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
New listeners. Peace.